Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Super exciting news from Plarium. We got a exclusive partnership between Universal and Plarium, bringing into the game one of the 90s' most iconic heroes. Xena Warrior Princess is coming to Raid Shadow Legends. She will be acquirable. In this video, I'm going to go over her freshly released kit, as well as where we should use her, what she will excel at, how to get her, and how I feel about all of this. So let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so here she is, Xena Warrior Princess. Looks freaking awesome. Of course, the art department from Plarium always kills it. This is her kit, freshly released. Let's go over it right now. So she's going to be a force attack champion. Perfect, that's fitting. She's a barbarian, also kind of fitting. You wouldn't have her in Banner Lords, for example, so very fitting. She looks great. She has her trademark, like, I guess, sword. She has the spinning disc. She has the body armor, is very recognizable. The long dark hair, of course. So let's go over A1, Sword of Redemption. Double hit, attacks one enemy, will ignore 3% of the target's defense for each buff on that target. Also ignores shields if the target is under 2 or more buffs or debuffs. So I love that part of her kit. She has 2 separate parts, makes her basically always good, buffs or debuffs. She ignores defense, which is a must for any kind of heavy damage dealer. So, you know, if they have a lot of buffs, they probably have defense up or strengthen or shield. So you definitely need the ignore defense to get some damage through. So really good to see. 4 books for 20% extra damage, pretty standard. Her A2, Chakram Cyclone, 4 turn cooldown, books down to 3, 2 books for 20% damage. Attacks all enemies, will ignore 5% of the target's defense for each buff on that target. And it steals 20% of the turn meter from each enemy. So this turn meter steal will require accuracy. This effect cannot be resisted if the target is under 2 or more buffs or debuffs. And there it is. If it cannot be resisted, that means it does not need accuracy at all. So far, you can build it without accuracy if you can trigger her conditional requirement on the Chakram Cyclone. 3 turn cooldown, AoE, ignore defense, perfect, excellent. Her A3, Whip of Destiny. I don't remember her with a whip, but maybe she did have a whip. 4 turn cooldown, after books, 20% from books, 20% damage from books. Attacks all enemies again, so 2 AoEs in her kit. Ignore 10% of the target's defense for each buff on the target. So each ability she has ignores defense to various degrees based on the amount of buffs on the target. Resets the cooldown of this kill if it kills 2 or more enemies. So the killer 2 or more enemies is a little bit harder to achieve. Usually you only see kill 1 or more enemy to reset. So obviously this skill needs to hit really hard to be able to hit that conditional requirement. But ignoring 10% of the target's defense is actually really strong. So for example, if you have Savage Gear and the target's under 5 debuffs, that's 50%, plus Savage Gear is 25%, 75%. And then if you get Helm Smasher, that could be, you know, a full 100% ignore defense, and that's just massive slam. So her kit looks awesome for a damage dealer. Unfortunately, no like ignore stone skin or bypassing ally protection or anything weird like that. But ignore defense, it's going to be universally good, kind of always. So, and it's definitely a 100% must have for any serious arena nuker. And having the buffs, having the condition be buffs on target is actually very easy to reach. So she's basically going to be ignoring a ton of defense every single hit. So far she looks awesome. Not too many books needed, 10 books, which is pretty standard, so nothing too outrageous there. She has 2 passives going on, 2 effects on her passive for the greater good. It's on a 3 turn cooldown. Passive effect, increase this champion's attack by 10% every time they use an active skill up to 100%. So it's kind of similar to like ninjas, where he can scale up his attack over longer fights, like Clan Boss, for example. So she has something similar to that where she scales up her attack. The second part of her passive effect on her passive, is a 50% chance of randomly changing this champion's weak hits to normal, strong, or critical. The chance increases to 100% when attacking enemies under 2 or more buffs or debuffs. So actually, this is really important because this actually lessens the impact of her affinity. So if she's attacking into Spirit, for example, like if she's attacking into Duchess, this passive gives her a 50% chance to basically not weak hit. So when she weak hits, she has a 50% chance of changing that weak hit into a non-weak hit. Of course, it's not always a crit or whatever, but it's going to be relevant. It's actually a very relevant part of her kit. So she does not weak hit, or she has a chance to not weak hit. And this doesn't require extra gear or anything. It's just a passive ability. So that's really nice for this champion, especially any non-void legendary. It's really, really nice. Her active effect, which has that 3-turn cooldown, fills this champion's turn meter by 100%. So she gets a 100% turn fill. Increased attack placed on her. Whenever an enemy places 8 or more, whenever 8 or more buffs are placed on the enemy team in 1 turn. So she will instantly boost her turn meter to 100%. It doesn't mean she instantly gets a turn because, as some of you may know, the turn meter will increase beyond 100%. But her turn meter fills by 100%. So I assume that it up to 100%. I'm not too sure. Up to 100% or in addition 100 or adding 100%. So not 100% sure, but this basically allows her some cutting in ability. It reminds me a little bit of like Valkyrie, whenever Valkyrie would boost her own turn meter while retracting turn meter from the enemy when they receive buffs. So it's kind of similar in that way. It's really nice that she can increase her attack, so she can come in with a big strike, AoE, maybe break the enemy defense unexpectedly. So actually, it's a really strong active ability, 3-turn cooldown, so it's not going to be on all the time, but she gets 1 hit off of it, maybe from the start. Immediately you think of somebody like Sifi or Duchess that you can just cut in on. Similar to how Valk is used. Necrit would probably also be a victim to this as well with his opening passive, which buffs 1 champion. So she would probably get boosted up there as well, maybe. I'm not too sure, but like it does say 8 or more buffs, so it's probably not applicable to Necrit. So anyways, and then to cap it off, she has an aura 33% in Arena. So basically she's marketed as a Arena champion. Personally, right now, just based on her kit, no multipliers, she looks awesome. If she has strong multipliers, strong base stats, she might become, maybe she sees some play in Arena. I think she for early players, mid-game players, she'll be massive, especially if she hits good. She's force. But I think she might be good enough where, similar to how we saw with the other login champions, they will eventually find a place in this game. I think she'll be very strong. On first look, first impressions, she looks excellent. But of course, we'll have to see the multipliers, and her base stats, of course, will be very important. But so far, so good. Let's look at how we can actually get this champion. All right, folks. So we know that Xena Warrior Princess will be the main prize of this new pass system that Plarium has. So basically, it's going to be a series of challenges or events. They said 25 levels to complete. So it's going to be a bunch of challenges similar to the Forge Pass that we currently have right now. So probably some daily activities that we have to complete to, and then clear these 25 levels to acquire the champion. So here's the thing. So for the basic pass, this is the no pay pass. You will only get a sacred shard at the end. So you get a sacred shard as the main prize. And then you will also get a Xena Warrior Princess avatar. So here it is, guys. Xena Warrior Princess avatar for the free champion pass. And she will be only obtainable here in the Elite Pass and the Elite Plus Pass. So we don't have any specific details about pricing or anything like that, but if these are based off of our experience with the Forge Pass, then the Elite Pass will be cheaper than the Elite Plus Pass, because the Elite Plus Pass basically just clears everything for you, gives you everything, and then gives you the champion. So obviously this is going to be the premium pass. You're going to be paying top dollar for this, basically just buying all the rewards and the champion. The elite pass, you have access to the champion, but you will have to complete all the daily playing. But in the end, you will get all the rewards. So that is how you acquire this champion. However, there is something actually a little bit special about this particular champion in terms of acquisition. So specific to Xena Warrior Princess, she will actually be acquirable from certain 10x events. So certain 10x events that feature her as a summonable champion. So that's key. So she won't be featured in all summon events. She will only be featured in certain events that feature her. She will be obtainable from shards. So this allows basically free-to-play players a chance to get her. Keep in mind, guys, 10x events for sacred or ancient shards is a total gamble. Even if you hit a legendary, the odds of hitting the specific 10x champion are still low. So as a free-to-play player myself, who's not going to spend any money in this game, regardless of how juicy or good certain rewards are, I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest, kind of disappointed to see that the champion will not be obtainable without actually paying money in this game. Because yes, she is obtainable from shards. That's great. But the odds of getting her are extremely low, which is not great. So it would have been nice to allow players to basically participate in challenges to have the end goal of acquiring her, whether it be more challenges or a longer period of time. I feel I feel a little bit disappointed, right? Personally, I don't expect to ever get her, but I would love to have her, especially just to try out, especially for Arena, since she is marketed that way. But personally speaking, I'm a little bit disappointed, and it is what it is, so I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Hopefully it provided some insight. Obviously this is very fresh, very much hype, and even I'm kind of hyped for this champion too, but I'm a little bit disappointed that I won't be able to get this champion in the end. So anyways, guys, hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Are you guys hyped for Xena Warrior Princess? How do you remember Xena Warrior Princess? Or do you guys not know of her at all? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate your time as always. So thank you guys very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.